Welcome to Pro V Offshore, where Fortress Portsmouth awaits round 7 of the European Championship. With just 2 rounds to go, 4 crews can still grab the crown. So let's catch up with the story so far. Round 1 showed just how close this year's championship was going to be when the new pairing of Per Oscarsson and Rune Hoggervold pounced on their unsuspecting rivals and snatched a maximum 20 points from under their noses, and then rubbed it in with a repeat victory in round 2. Round 3 in Arundel, and the defending champions Chris Peters and Tony Dowley jumped straight back in the frame with a spectacular fight back to steal the win from Italians Giovanni Capitella and Mario Invernizzi. But in the next race, Invernizzi raised his game and saw off challenges from both Spirit of Arundel and their teammates, the attacking Vikings. It was one mighty scrap, with number 11 crossing the line in second place, only to sink. The fight for the Pro V title was intense, and there'll be more to come. Round 5 in Cowes saw the return of Simon Fletcher's Thunderstorm, but the 4th different winner in 5 races was the Spirit of Arundel. Round 6, around the Isle of Wight, saw Invernizzi and Capitella set a new lap record and then barrel roll out of the race. The attacking Vikings pulled out with a broken exhaust system, and Chris Peters, overcome by carbon monoxide poisoning, lost consciousness and collided with a stray spectator boat. So a second win went the way of the Spirit of Arundel and gave them a 3-point lead to take to Portsmouth. The incident involving Peters and Dowley raised serious questions about the safety of both competitors and spectators alike, especially when it comes to controlling pleasure boats in these busy coastal waters.
We were running down to East Leap, and then we turned and there was a gaggle of yachts, and we wound our way through these gaggle of yachts. And then I remember seeing about a 50-foot schooner on my port side, and then it went a bit hazy, and the last thing I remember seeing was an anchor of the front of a yacht. I obviously turned the boat because of the way that we missed, the front. Otherwise, I think we would have gone through it. But I don't really remember anything after that. I was out at that point.
But can't you smell exhaust fumes? Aren't they obvious in a cockpit?
No, you've always got a little bit of smell from either petrol or fumes in the boat anyway, because it tends to linger in the boat. But carbon monoxide, you don't know it's there. There is no smell to it. That's the real problem with it. There was a couple of noises we heard from the boat, and we'd lost a little bit of speed. So we were trying to work out what had happened and what was going on. But to be honest, it's the last thing you think about is carbon monoxide poisoning. I think about it now. We've actually got carbon monoxide sensors in the boat. We've got mechanical and strips, so we can visually see as well as a gauge. So from our perspective, it won't happen again. I believe all the other boats have been instructed, the canopy boats have been instructed to put them in. So, but it's something that's really never happened before. So nobody's really been aware of it.
This is the first time, certainly my experience, that we've had an incidence of carbon monoxide poisoning inside of a canopy boat. We have a containment area which is pretty well sealed to the elements, but somehow this toxic gas has seeped in and caused obviously a very serious effect to the crew members. There is an immediate circulation of bulletin to the rest of the UIM nations explaining the situation, and I think before very much longer there will be a mandation of rule enforcing that we have some sort of sensors or alarm systems in the boat.
Well, that's one problem. The second problem, obviously, was they hit a spectator boat. Apparently the spectator boat, was actually on the course itself. Is that true?
Yes, from all of the information that's been relayed so far, that would be true. And certainly from the film footage, it does seem obvious that the spectator craft were crossing that area of the course. Unfortunately, it's one thing that we appear not to be able to control in the UK. When we race in other areas of Europe, there are very strict controls as to spectator craft containment in certain areas, certainly restrictions of going across the course between certain time periods so that the race boats have a window of time to race in, and then the spectator craft can come across the course. 30, 40 years ago when we were racing at 22 knots, other boats on the course were not so much of a problem. These guys with Pro V boats are now running in excess of 100 towards 105 miles an hour. You cannot afford, and the whole of the racing network cannot afford to have spectator craft infringing the racing lines.
Cowes is notoriously bad for not controlling spectator boats. Most courses you go to, they keep the spectator boats off the course. You go to Norway, that isn't an issue. You don't see a spectator boat on the course. You know, it's a bit like having the Formula One race and having people having the zebra crossing. You know, it's madness.
What about the damage to your boat, though? Was there much damage?
Yeah, a serious amount of damage, yes. Everybody's been flat out putting it all back together. Yeah, it's not been easy.
And you renamed the boat?
We didn't quite get to the day course, so we thought De Bird was actually quite good.
The 2 race wins in Cowes have suddenly thrust the Spirit of Arendal and its crew, Per Carsten Mikkelsen and Bjorn Magnussen, right into centre stage. But they've got their friends and rivals, the attacking Vikings, breathing right down their necks, with Thunderbird and Ceramica Panaria waiting in the wings. So not surprisingly, tension is running high as the crews head out for round 7, where our race commentator Eric Michel takes up the story.
Leaving the start, the boats head for turn 1 at Horse Sand Fort, and keeping turn 2 to their left, they head north to turn 3, a 90-degree right running parallel to the coast up to turn 4, then another 90-degree right, south to the sweeping turn 5, west along the long leg to turn 6, through the separation buoys at the Horse Sand Fort, and with turn 7 to their right, they head north to turns 8 and 9 at Portsmouth Harbour, and the finish line. A final turn south again brings them back online for the 4th turn.
But the teams were to be faced with an agonising wait. The officials had failed to lay the course on time, and a tense 2 hours would pass before the frustrated pack was let loose for the charge to the Horse Sand Fort. As the boats exited the left turn, led by Magnussen and Mikkelsen, they became instantly disorientated. The next turn mark was not in its place, and at almost 100 miles an hour, quick decisions had to be made.
Where are they going? I don't know.
You gone course?
No, I can't see where the I am. Do any know where we're going here?
Carpetella and Invernizzi now led, while Peters and Dowley, having lost power to their GPS navigation system, could only follow as they all headed in the wrong direction. On board, the adrenaline-fueled frustration was beginning to boil over.
There ain't nothing out here, is there?
Well, this says where the Mark 4 is.
Well, that's the one we came from, isn't it?
Is that the one we came round?
Yeah.
The driver's instincts and GPS systems were giving them conflicting information.
There it is. Dead ahead.
And we didn't go round it, did we?
No.
So nor did they, did they?
Nobody's gone round it.
Could be our lucky day, Chris.
Might be.
But it wasn't to be.
Red flag.
There's the plug.
As the Thunderbird team corrected their course, officials decided to red flag the race. Peters and Dowley in number 1 had corrected their course, only to be denied a crucial win. The race had been abandoned and the teams were called back to the pits. The organisers had decided it was unsafe to continue the race and no points would be awarded.
I've never been anything like this in my life in a boat career, but there was a lot of fuss to get out there, and when we got out there we had a problem to see the boys, and some were out in position, and there was also, I think the starboard did something funny the first time, I'm not sure. After the fort there was a big confusion because I think everybody turned around the way back mark instead of the way going there, so we should have been a lot closer to the shore, but it was very hard to see, and on the compass and on the GPS it looks like the right one.
So you think turn 2 was in the right place or not?
I don't think so.
2 hours delayed for the boy, and probably I think so is a mistake the position of the boy, and all his castle. I don't know why. Is the English perfection is probably today? No, I don't know.
Can you remember a race being stopped like this because the buoys are wrong?
No.
Well, we were completely blind. We'd actually lost our GPS and our compass. We had no instruments whatsoever. So we decided that we'd try and stay with them on the first lap around, and then once I knew where the course was and got a few landmarks, then we'd take over. But when we got part of the way around, I realised it looked as though we'd missed a mark, and they were all then going off in the distance. It was obviously the wrong place, even without any instruments, I could see that. So we then decided to go back to the mark, which I thought we'd missed, and carry on round, and then we were red flagged.
And what does Giovanni have to say? He was the one leading.
His comment to us was the boy in the right place? And it's difficult for me to judge. I think it was a bit to our left, I think, from judging when we went back to it.
Obviously the course changes, you know, at sort of 10:30 we're still charting out where the boys are, and I think the general consensus for us is that number 3 was not in the right position. And again, they were supposed to be Pro V marks, and Mark 3 was a small yellow inflatable mark. A bit of a shambles, I think.
For me, and I think for all the others, it seems that one boy was missing. So that was the reason. All was just searching for some hidden boys. So it was just like a play out there. When you start to place the boys when the race normally should have been starting, then you have a challenge, I like to call it.
Controversy, high drama, emotion and confusion all reign, but like it or not, round 7 is null and void. So make sure you join us after the break for the final showdown of the 2003 Pro V Offshore European Cup. Welcome back to Portsmouth, where, with one notable exception, the crews have put behind them the trials and tribulations of the aborted penultimate round of the Pro V Offshore European Championship and turned their attention to what has now become a one-race shootout. For the 2 Scandinavian crews, it's become a winner-takes-all scenario, and now only the British pairing of reigning champions Dowley and Peters have the slimmest chance of spoiling the Viking domination. But what of the Italians? Well, it's Sunday morning and the race is about 3 hours away, and it would appear that they've all locked up and gone home.
A course change will see the boats exit the port turn, missing out turn 2 and heading straight for a now fast-sweeping turn 3 and then on towards turn 4. The boats have all left the pits down at the bottom left of the picture, attacking Vikings, almost the last to leave. They've got an awesome task ahead as they head out to join the other teams at the milling area. This is the view where the boats gather, Southsea Castle and the pier to our right.
Yeah, go on, go.
The familiar call from Chris Peters to Tony Dowley, whose left hand will be hard on the throttle as Thunderbird builds up speed. The boats heading away now down towards the fort, the Horse Sand Fort being the first turn. An almost perfect day for this final round of the Pro V Offshore Championship. We're on board with the attacking Vikings team, who desperately want to win this race and to win the championship title. Here's the fort looming in front of the lead team, number 82, Spirit of Arundel. They have to stay ahead of the attacking Vikings team if they stand any chance of winning the championship title here today. It's going to be very tight at turn 1.
The Hog V on our left. Vikings are moving over. You've got 2 boats tight on your left.
Tremendous tension. Here's the fight then going into turn 1. Miles Jennings and Uracall on the inside.
Watch out, Tom, we're going to get squeezed out.
There's the pleasure boat, where it shouldn't be, right on the turn at the fort as they take a huge sweep left. But Spirit of Arundel has pulled out a fantastic lead.
Yoo-hoo! Come on!
Bjorn Magnusson cheering on himself, Per Karsten, his throttle man and the boat, and look at the advantage they've got now as they head up towards turn 3. Miles Jennings, Neil Holmes in second place, and Uracall, their best performance so far, on board with the attacking Vikings team, the helicopter on the right, following the Red Hog V boat back in 5th place as they head into the fast sweeper there, you can see at turn 3, and now they'll run parallel to the coast. 6th place, number 12, Norwegian Thunder, Rune Midstol, Tom Rissoy, their petrol V8 running well. Race leaders under tremendous pressure. They've got the entire pack right behind them and a yacht on turn 5. They go to the left of it, Thunderbird to the right. This is lap 1, we've got 8 more to go once the boats complete the final turn up at turn 9 in front of Southsea Castle. Attacking Vikings back in 6th place. This is not a good performance for them, and it certainly isn't the position they want to be in. These guys want to win the championship, and they've got the whole fleet of boats ahead of them. Here they are down the white boat right in front of us. Even Norwegian Thunder's ahead of them at the moment, and Hog V. Spirit of Arundel in 1st place, Uracall with Miles Jennings and Neil Holmes in 2nd. Then we're on board with the 3rd place team, Thunderbird. The gauge showing 70 knots to Tony Dowley. 91 miles an hour or 145 kilometres per hour is the speed for the yellow boat at the moment. Attacking Vikings up into fourth. They've got Hog Vee behind them and Norwegian Thunder. Race leaders approach turn 8. It's a 90-degree right and a short run up to turn 9 and another 90-degree right. Portsmouth in the background then as the teams head almost directly towards the harbour entrance before they take that right-hand turn. Horse Sandfort for the race leaders, a hard left for Bjorn Magnusson. Faircast and Mikkelsen keeping the revs up, keeping both turbos on there as they head away now up towards turn 3, towards the shoreline, beyond Southsea, beyond the pier. Fantastic performance. The European Championship in sight, or is it? Because here comes the challenge for the lead. Number 11 has moved right up now through the pack. Swede Per Oskarsson, hand hard on the throttles. His driver, Rune Hogevall, looking for every distance advantage he can find as they try to make up ground on their teammates and race leaders. Hogevall has changed course. He cuts right across through the rooster tail of the race leaders. Magnusson has made a navigational error. You can see he's wide of the turn. And as they go down towards turn 4, it looks like we have new race leaders. Rune Hogevall, Per Oskarsson, and this is the view from Bjorn Magnusson's seat inside number 82.
Oh, they just spun out.
That's Jennings retired out of the race. It puts Thunderbird back into third.
I don't know if we've got a problem. I don't seem to have a lot of power.
But for how much longer? Dowley complaining of a loss of power. And already Hog Vee's been taken into tow. So our race leaders, Rune Hogevall, Per Oskarsson, the distinctive double-capsuled Nicolini hull in first place, number 82 here, Spirit of Arendal in second, Dowley hanging on in third, or is he? No, he's lost third place now to Norwegian Thunder. Rune Midtstall, Tom Rissoy, the best performance this year.
It's sort of got it surging with power.
Dowley's out.
She's gone.
Yeah, that's what it is. Motor's gone. Oh well.
Oh what?
That's why we got no power.
Yeah.
Bitter disappointment for Dowley, the end of the championship defence.
Go on, Per, my son.
We're sat here in the course at the moment. We're going to need some help, aren't we?
Chris Peters realising they've got to get their boat towed off the racing line. Still in second place now with Bjorn Magnusson as they pass the stricken Thunderbird being taken into tow. But that's the last thing Magnusson wants to be worrying about, because now Norwegian Thunder have come past. On the right of your picture, Norwegian Thunder have passed Spirit of Arendal and moved up into second place. This really is a superb performance for Midtstall and Rissoy, but have they got problems building? The engine canopy has loosened itself. It looks like a repeat of the problems they had in testing. The boat's slowing. Perhaps they've spotted, oh no, a huge engine failure, I think. The boat just almost stopping dead in the water. And back past them comes number 82.
I can see the boy.
The boys.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Bjorn Magnusson amazingly cheery there, considering that this boat needs to be in the lead to win the championship.
Where is number 12, Mr. Midtstall?
And as they know well, Rune Midtstall has stopped out on the course. Look at that, part of the canopy torn clean off as we look down into the engine bay with a massive and mightily powerful V8 exposed to the elements. So it's diesel power in first and second. The turbocharged Sea-Tech diesels powering both this boat, Spirit of Arendal, a Butzi built in Italy, and our race leaders, the Nicolini hull, also built in Italy.
Per Carsten, turn. He don't like my turns, so I have to do it another way. Everything to please the mistress, you know.
Per Carsten Mikkelsen clearly of the opinion that he's doing everything he can with the engine and the trim, and he's urging his driver, Bjorn Magnusson, to reduce the distance between themselves and the race leaders. But Rune Hogevall and Per Oskarsson from Sweden are heading towards the checkered flag and the finish line to take this, their first European Championship title as a new team in their first year in Pro V. What a spectacular victory. There'll be great celebration in the Norwegian town of Arendal. Their teams have taken first and second in the race and the championship.
We had a water leak, which is one of the main pipes that go from where the water comes in the front of the engine and feeds the oil coolers. And with about probably 18 inches of water in the bottom of the boat, and of course the blower belt is picking up the water and it's chucking it up the front of the engine, and the engine's then sucking it in. So we couldn't work out why 1 minute we'd get, we started to run and she'd pick up speed again, and then the next minute we were, she was just going flat.
turn one, I understand this time you were awake enough to be missing spectator boats.
Yes, we got a little bit close to a boat. It seemed to have run right onto the course, and as we turned the fort, it was there right in front of us. So it was a bit close. Should never have been there. Should have been marshalled off.
Faircaston, you lost the championship in the last round last year. It's happened again. Are you losing your spirit slightly or not?
No, the spirit is still very well, and we finished in style, I guess. And we're very happy for our team, the whole team, not only the crew on the boat, but our mechanics, the chefs, everybody. So we are delighted we achieved our goals very much this year.
So next year it's going to be the spirit's turn. This is the idea.
Oh yeah, for sure. We know about the dirty tricks now, and we know how to catch the speed. So we have everything under control, I guess.
And also the party will be under your control, I expect. You're your chief party officer, I understand.
Yes, that's one of the things that are delegated to me, yes. We're very happy we take this interview now and not in next 3-4 hours.
Yeah, I'm very glad now, and I'm so happy that I can't get my feelings back. You know, it's on the edge now. but we done it. We work hard for this victory this year, and we're struggling with so much problem, but always come back. So this is great. This is great.
And who dictates the pace? Who says go fast? Who says go slow?
It depends a little bit on, but normally when he got his helmet on, he's crazy, so I can stop him. But he is a really clever guy. I'm really happy to be in the boat with him.
Congratulations once again, Rune, the European champion.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm really glad to be here now.
The results showed just how punishing the race was. Norwegian Thunder out with a blown engine, Thunderbird out with a major water leak, Hog V with fuel problems, and Eurocall lucky to escape a major accident with a hydraulic steering failure. But the story of the championship is in the final positions. Just 3 points separate Spirit of Arendal from the attacking Vikings, who maintained an absolute focus and determination to win this season, leaving a bitter pill to swallow for their Spirit teammates, who once again are denied the title at the final race of the championship. It's been quite a year for the Norwegian teams.
So the season has ended as it began, with victory for the attacking Vikings. Rune Holgeval and Per Oscarson, with the rookie pairing taking the Pro V European Cup at their first attempt. The bridesmaid once again was the Spirit of Arendal, but as teammates the champions, I doubt if that will spoil the party.